So the first logical step in making a ship is to just let the hull sit there for a couple of days. But I was doing something reasonable this time. I was researching the ship, and what I'm going to do is make a whole outline of the ship first. I'm going to make the entire outside first. This is something I didn't do with Titanic. I just kind of made the stone layer, the rough shape of it. With this one, I'm just going to make the shape straight at the start, so I don't have to worry about what I'm building, just in case I get something wrong and I have to go back and redo it all. But this took about 6 hours, I think, to do this. Again, a lot of research, but that's what the replay file says, so that's only time in the game. So 6 hours of building and probably is longer amount of research I actually did. Bit of history as I make the boat deck. So Nomadic was a ship that was registered in Cherbourg, France by the White Star Line, and it was designed as a tender to ferry passengers between Titanic and Olympic. So Titanic actually was served by Nomadic on the night, along with traffic. So I'm making the 3rd class waiting room right now and the 2nd class waiting room. There's no living space on Nomadic other than for the crew, because it's only designed to make 30-minute journeys between the two ships. So most of its waiting space and 1st class had a couple of extra things as well. A lot of the research for this build was done from a set of French plans on the Nomadic. Now, a lot of the plans I found were really blurry and stuff, so it was really hard to read and understand. Obviously, I'm English, so I had to translate a lot of them using Google Translate. But fun fact, Nomadic actually is the only White Star Line ship that still exists today. They merged with Cunard, but they dropped the name in 1949. So, anyway, I'm finishing up the 1st class section now, but I also use a lot of reference images from the ship in real life, illustrations, and other things like that. This ship is 109 years old. You can actually go see it, and actually tour around it in Belfast. But fun fact about this build, I didn't actually use any redstone lights or anything. No redstone wire was used in this build at all, unlike Titanic. Unlike the captain, officers, and some higher up crew, the stokers and people who fed the boilers lived here. About 8 people, I think, could live here. So this has some areas for food, the chain locker, and an emergency coal bunker for some extra coal if they need some. Now over here we are building the cargo holds now. This is where luggage would be stored before it was moved on to Titanic, and other ships Nomadic served. Now we have an outside 360 kind of view of Nomadic right now. He's getting close to done, but we've got a little bit more work to do. Now that's all the crew areas done and public areas. This is now the boiler rooms, so obviously it's be where the crew work. Now the boiler rooms are only 2 of them. Nomadic's not a very big ship compared to Titanic or whatever, so it's only got 2 reciprocating engines and 2 boilers to power them all. So I worked on those and made little animations, they move up and down, and then I worked on the underground kind of cargo hold underneath the main public areas. I also made a ballast tank which was used to level Nomadic out, and I also made a freshwater tank just behind this room here. I then made some ropes. I'm still getting used to making ropes. I'm finding it a bit difficult to do. Ropes seem to never look good in Minecraft. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm on the boat now. This is exactly basically how it will look now once the map download comes out. You have a little booklet here that I'm not going to read it through it right now. It just has a couple of little things about how to use the map and a couple of problems with it. But this is moving right now. It's a little bit jittery. I did wonder if it was a bit too jittery, but I don't think it is. And if it is that much of a problem, you can go down into the engine room here, and then you can go and turn the engine off. And that will stop this. So the pistons will stop in the engine room, the propellers will stop spinning, the smoke will go to this up version because it's not moving forward, and the ship will stop, so it's a bit too disorientating, you can do it that way. So another thing I've added, which isn't here in real life I don't think, is this little ladder which you can go down just if you want to go and get a view of the propellers, because you're going to be in adventure mode when this comes out, not creative. You can go down here, but just make sure not to get swept away. So not very fast. If I made it faster, it'd be the jittering would either be really, really bad, or if I made it so it moved quicker, then it would just kind of just shoot off into the stratosphere and you wouldn't really be able to move around on it. So I think this is quite a good base, even though it's probably about 50 times slower than it was in real life. You also have the watertight doors. Flicking that switch will toggle the doors. We're going to flick that lever, then this will start opening, I think, because I've closed them on the map. So there we go, that door's open there, and over here the doors are starting to open here. Take a little second for these ones to open. But I would close this because in real life this one would always be closed, because this is the one that separates 3rd class from 2nd class. Another feature with the watertight doors is that you can use this trapdoor to go underneath if you kind of want to. This is more of a Titanic feature than a feature for this, because obviously it's not flooding at all, so there's no reason you would want to do that. It's more of a Titanic feature, but you can if you want. The watertight doors take 30 seconds to close, I think, but it varies because the redstone block here is setting a timer up and up and up, so if you set off right at the end, it will close a lot quicker. Now we also have these little rope leads. There's some cows which are like invisible, no AI. So you think there's a bit cool, but they have no AI. They're not living. They're just kind of like objects. And then they're like kind of tethered with leads to the system. And then these it just wouldn't work for because it's just too complicated. So I'm just using nether brick fences. It's going to be out now, so as this video airs, I'm going to release it. I think it'll be Sunday that this map will come out, so go and check down below, I'll have a link to it.